When I wake up, you better believe I'm gonna be happy. And whatever the world throws, see, this is what spirituality does for you. Where religion teaches you to run to somebody to help you, spirituality teaches you how to help yourself, how to handle your own, how to look at that problem, that bill, that issue, that whatever it is, how to look at that and be like, I'll get to you when I get to you, and be at peace with it, because you know a secret. You know that whatever's riding with you is not going to let you fail, as long as you don't want to fail yourself. So peace and blessings. Welcome to Healing Divination, the podcast. I am your host, Fumi Laye, and today is Story Day. So today I want to tell you a story about just a little glimpse into my journey, with the hopes that something will resonate with you and that in my journey you will find healing. So sit back, get yourself something nice to sip. I'm going to go with tea, wink, wink, and we're going to start our tale. You know, my journey began when I was at the top of the world. I felt unstoppable. It's like I had the Midas touch. Everything I touched turned to gold. I was 21, maybe. I had a job. I had ladies. I had a little car. You couldn't tell me nothing. You know, I was recently promoted to supervisor, my first foray into supervising. And I felt like unstoppable. Maybe because deep down inside, I always had this desire I always wanted to be that one. I had a great grandfather who was the first Black police officer in East Orange, New Jersey. And somewhere in the back of my subconscious, it was always this desire to be the first at something, to birth something, to leave a mark, to have somebody say, my grandfather did this. So with all that to the side, I was riding pretty high. And then, something shifted. It's like I always had this desire to understand that which was perceived to be non-understandable, if that's a word. And I always felt like I wanted to be the one to decode it. And I remember being young and just being so enamored by the concept of a God that you couldn't tell me nothing. Even though I would later, as I got older, challenge that. But in the beginning, for some strange reason, I always had this habit of, even to myself when I was playing, just, saying thank you to God or something like that. And always felt like there was a presence around me. I'm a kid at that age. But then as I grew up and became a teenager, and I think this was at a time we were living with my grandmother, and she was very much religious and in her Bible, and at her kitchen table, listening to some preacher on the radio. And I remember walking by and just seeing that dedication and being like, from what little I know, God's supposed to help us. But it wasn't like we were doing super, super bad. But I mean, we could have been doing better with all that prayer, And I remember sitting down, and what really triggered me, and I'm pretty sure for some reason it triggers a lot of people, because whenever I say this, people be like, yeah, me too. I don't know if it was the greatest story ever told or one of the other ones, but it's the one where they had Abraham going to get ready to kill his son. And I was so traumatized by that, man. Like, what kind of God would tell somebody that? Like, what kind of almighty being is so insecure that you would tell somebody to do that to their child? Like, that's crazy to me. And I got scared of them, everybody talking devil this, devil that. But man, listen, that dude have his angels wipe out at this age, at this time, I'm still not over that. That is still one of the first things my minds go to when I think about Christianity. And I'm not talking about Christian the people. I'm not talking about what it was meant to be. Everything, the road to hell is paved in good intentions, but somewhere somebody got it wrong. But yeah, I was so moved by that I didn't want that God. You can have him, not my God. I had the not my God t-shirt on because, it wasn't until later on in life that I found out that God killed more people in the Bible than the devil. I mean, wiped out whole generations. So for me, that was a turnoff. And that was something that my brain wouldn't allow me to do it. Even though I sang in the choir and I was baptized, I just remember sitting in church, just feeling repulsed, just looking up at the Jesus on the cross, like, wow, like something about you, bro. Like it's not right. Something's not right. For what you are saying, what I hear you say, and what I see and hearing, what I'm reading, there's a difference of ideas. And so yeah, man. And then I went on the whole. I don't believe in no God no more. So I tried to be an atheist, but that just did not work out well. And at this time, I was having certain issues in my life that was calling me to look for help out, to look for somebody who could help me. Because I went from having the Midas touch and having everything, basically whatever I could dream. You talking about manifesting? I was manifesting houses at 21 years old. I mean, it was incredible. And then one day the bottom fell out and you felt it. Like I just woke up one morning and I just felt like, yeah, this is not going to be a good day. And it just took off from there. And, I was just, swimming against the tide. If something went wrong, I try something else. I'm a tourist. I'm not going to quit. If something went wrong this way, I try something else. And it was just getting to the point where, you reach a point in your life where it's like everything that I've done within the physical realm, this 3D realm to solve my problem has not worked. My problem must not lie in this realm. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, put your own self in my shoes. Like, if you trying to get a raise, you trying to get a new job, you trying to land you a woman, get you a man, and everything that you have tried in this realm to overcome that obstacle has failed, and the cause of that obstacle is not of this realm. So now it's time to go looking for the answer. And that's what I did. I went looking for the answer. I would not take no as an answer. If I can't fix it with all my power, with all my will, with all my determination, I can't bend this iron to my will. And that's because that iron came from somewhere else. That's not iron. So I had no choice. And I've turned back to organized religion. Maybe I'm a Muslim. Yeah, and while I do love like the way the prayer sounds, like if you have not heard Iman prayer, you're missing one of the most beautiful sounds in the world. I like that part of it, but then they said I can't have no bacon and I can't have all this other stuff. So I was like, nah, I can't do that. And then I stumbled into, I had this weird thing happen one day. I was sleeping and I felt like I was awake, but it wasn't like you think. It wasn't like dreaming, but like a lucid dream or anything. It was almost as if I woke up and I was laying there and felt like I fell asleep, but my eyes were still open and I could still see. And then the next day, it stayed on my mind so much. When you wake up and it's still on your mind, a dream stays with you. There's definitely a message there. So I had already begun meditating, a while back. This is before then. Yeah, this is before then. So I had so this has got me used into the idea of meditation and trying to see what's going on there. But like most people, I couldn't grasp it. I couldn't grasp the concept of just sitting there. So like a lot of people, I had my ons and offs because sometimes I would find myself meditating for unconscious without doing it like unconsciously. I could be sitting there watching TV and then next thing you know, the show's over and I don't remember nothing. I don't know what happened. And I also would notice that when I start to talk to people, I would just kind of feel like I fade to the background and something's just speaking through me. And so I wanted to get closer to what that was. And that's where trying to learn how to meditate on and off and still be a young man in the streets, trying to have a good life because believe it or not, they're one and the same. You are a spiritual being experiencing life on earth. So I had to go do my earth exploring, and and the lessons and the opportunities to grow that came from that. But then, at some point you realize that whatever this itch is, it's not going away. It's not going away. It's not going away. So ended up finally opening up to my then at the time girlfriend, my wife, and she took me to see a person who read tarot. And I think at this point in my life, I didn't really know what tarot was. I guess, the same about as everybody else, whatever you've seen on television. So he did his little thing and told me to take an egg and go bathe myself with it, or rub it all over myself. So, I guess psychologically it gives you some feeling like I did something, but without the knowledge behind it, you kind of lose the power, right? So I just kind of took it for what it's worth. I didn't notice an improvement, but then it did open the door because then I met my first santero, which is a good man that I got a chance to, who first introduced me to Santeria. And he was telling me about, issue and Orisha and stuff like that. But it never really clicked with me because it just felt like, I'm this dude, like, if they doing that good and they that powerful and they're that great, bro, you like your whole shit should look different than this. Your whole house, your whole life should look different. Every time I come see you, I got to bring you cigarettes. I got to bring you this. I got to bring you that. And I was feeling some kind of way about it. And so I kind of backed off, but I did get my first issue. And then I kind of that led into the African because I couldn't get behind the Santeria version. Now, that's different than leukemia. Leukemia, I could do leukemia. But then I got into the African part of it and got a chance to explore that, and that's where I kind of fell in love with it because it was just it made so much sense to me. It just really resonated with me, and even the way the whole process unfolded was almost as if something said, "Yeah, we got his attention. Let's go," and kind of went through the process and. I got received my Obatala, and the same night I just went right over to Eshu. To Orumila, and had that experience and came out in our V5. And that's been 24 years, and it has been a beautiful experience. But with it comes a lot of growth. It demands a lot of growth of you. It demands a lot of discipline of you. And I needed that. And because of the nature of my Udu, it allowed me to venture off into other religions and cult, customs and spiritualities and stuff like that. So, that's when the Reiki came in, and because I always had this thing with my hands and energy, and so I got into Reiki. Did that with, had my ups and downs with that. You know what I mean? I kind of, had a situation that happened. We'll save that for another story time. That kind of challenged my faith in Reiki, but in the end, Reiki showed me who it was, and the healing you get from Reiki is it's changing. It's life changing, and there's a lot of different healing modalities out there, and everybody has their favorite. And at the end of the day, I hate to bust your bubble. They're all the same. It's all the energy of source channeled through you to charge someone else's battery. And that's it in a nutshell. So then that opened up stumbled into Hinduism and Buddhism, and then my meditation game started taking off. And next thing you know, I couldn't stop meditating. And then there were situations where I was having out of body experiences, and just getting downloads, and just all of a sudden knowing stuff I didn't know, and listening to people talk, but just knowing so much more, and just feeling them and sensing their energy and whispers in my ear about them. It's almost like, and for some reason I wasn't afraid. It's just like I felt like a superhero, like I want this, and like everything else, there's a price to pay. There's a discipline that comes with that, and there's a journey you have to take. It's almost like giving you a preview of what you could be. And once you agree to it, now you have to walk this path to go get it. And the path is a story within itself. I could tell you, it's one of those things where everybody's doing it to a degree. Some unknowingly, some willingly. Everybody is going through their dark night of the soul. Everybody is fighting the demon within themselves. Everybody is thinking that they need to be fighting something inside themselves. And then this quest to understand that takes you on this journey where you just started, you went from reading the Bible to the Bhagavad Gita. You starting to, learn other scriptures. Now you're talking about the Anankai, and you just, your mind is just consuming it, and your YouTube looks like a library because all you want is information. And then you start to relate this with this and coming up with your own theories and your thoughts, and then you start to understand yourself more, because as you start to dig deeper, the more you dig deeper, the more you are digging within yourself, because you start off thinking it's outside you, but anything worth reading is telling you it's within you. So you have to turn around and start again, because every time you look up at the heavens and pray to God, you are disavowing the one that lies and is looking right through your eyes right now. Yeah, you felt that. Every time you drop to your knees and beg something outside of yourself to save you from yourself, you disillusion yourself. Yeah, so that was just me just ripping off layer after layer after layer after layer. And, you know, it took its toll. And it's right when you get those little reprieves between crying over cartoons, when you get those little reprieves from wanting to go outside but not wanting to look at nobody, when you get those little reprieves from sitting there and listening to your own mind curse you the fuck out and call you every kind of piece of shit that exists in your own head day after day. And then you go and you sit and meditate and you try to make it go away. And then it hits you eventually. Why are you saying this to me? And then healing begins. You go sit outside by the pool and your heart is filled with so much gratitude. And you enjoy it for the moment. You try to do everything you got to do. You wash the dogs, you do the laundry, you do everything, because tomorrow morning I may wake up and just start crying for no reason and not want to get out of bed. That's the price. And I'm minimizing it. Other people have all kind of jazz popping off. I'm giving you just a piece of my. I'm just giving you a piece, man. you know. But you endure and you come out on the other side and you brush yourself off and you look in the mirror and you know something has changed, you know. And I'm there. And once you go through that enough times, you come out and you are at a point where I want other people to feel this. I want other people to wake up like I wake up, where I don't care what's going on in my life. I'm the most stoic dude you ever gonna meet. My wife is amazed at how little I give a fuck. When I wake up, you better believe I'm gonna be happy. And whatever the world throws. See, this is what spirituality does for you. Where religion teaches you to run to somebody to help you, spirituality teaches you how to help yourself, how to handle your own, how to look at that problem, that bill, that issue, that whatever it is, how to look at that and be like, I'll get to you when I get to you, and be at peace with it, because you know a secret. You know that whatever's riding with you is not going to let you fail as long as you don't want to fail yourself. But yes, I am so humbled and grateful that you took the time to have a little story time with me. I just want to throw these in to kind of break up the episodes. I was sitting there with wanting to say something without nothing really to say. And I said, you know what? Let's just see what comes out. And I hope that you found benefit from it. I hope that you enjoy it, that you share it, and that you subscribe, and that you come with me and continue to ride with me and let me drop these jewels for you. Let me share my wisdom with you and share yours with me, man. I'm still waiting for some comments or something. Holla at you, boy. Let me know that you're hearing me. Give me some things you want to hear my opinion on, and maybe I could download some wisdom for you right here. I'd love to do a coaching session with someone. So hey, let's have fun together. You dig? So I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna sign out. Remember, you can get at me at healingdivinationcoaching.net. Just go there, send me a message. Let's start vibing. And I look to see you soon. All right? Peace.